Yesterday, Misfits Mania took place. The event itself, it had some entertaining fights, but the main event, I don't know what words can describe it. It was just a complete mess. To start breaking it down, we got to look at the fighters. To start off with Tate, from my knowledge, his last bout was about 5 years ago, but he fought a complete tomato can during lockdown, and he got the stoppage. But from what I'm seeing online, his last actual competitive bout was 10 years ago. Mind you, this is a 40-year-old, by the way. He's someone that does regularly post himself sparring, but he does smoke cigars a lot, so his stamina can be questioned before even stepping in the ring. I'm sure there were signs in training about this. I'm not trying to take away from his past, he was a 4-time kickboxing world champion, so there is skill there. That's why his big fan base expected him to win this. Before the fight took place, I was seeing clips of him training with Jonathan Banks.
Steps. I need you to get some energy off your feet. 1, 2. Everybody move backwards better than they move forward. Because everybody left foot down. It's the wrong way to be, but let's go.
That actually excited me because I thought he's going to have more of a traditional boxing style and ditch his hands down style since he's got a world-class trainer with him. If you don't know who Jonathan Banks is, he's a world-class trainer and he has coached elite level fighters. So on this list you got Klitschko, Triple G, Badu Jack. Now over here it says he currently trains Eubank Jr. He was in his corner for the first fight against Ben, and I believe the fight in Saudi before that. But Eubank, he did switch to Bomac, so I doubt he's with him right now. Here's a picture of him if you haven't seen him before. This is what he looks like. Over here we got a picture with Klitschko, one with Gennady, and for some reason it's showing pictures of an actor called Jonathan Banks. This just tells me that I knew Tate was getting some elite level coaching, so maybe he'll ditch that hands down kickboxing style. But as you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But in his corner on the actual fight night, it was his long-term kickboxing coach, Amir. I'm surprised I didn't see Jonathan Banks. Maybe I missed him out, but I don't think he was there. Now let's look at his opponent, Chase. So Chase is 29. You could call that prime athletic years, so you'd expect him to be somewhat athletic. His record on paper does look decent, 5-2. Now people love to use his fight against Josh Bruckner against him, where he was doing that weird sloppy punches.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
If you look at when that fight happened, that was 3 years ago. In 3 years, you can improve a lot. Maybe not in his case, I'm talking about in general. We can see he's been down to Mexico, he fought a couple bums to pad up his record. You can tell by the record of his opponents, they are very low level, so you'd expect some sort of development. I understand, yes, pro boxers, they do this, but they are actually developing in between these fights. So even though a lot of people don't rate him, he has been an active fighter, which can be dangerous to someone who's been out the ring for 10 years. On BoxRec, his total bouts are 15. Now that's quite a lot for someone on Misfits. It's unfortunate that the development isn't there. Let's talk about the fight itself. It was a sloppy fight from both of them, not just Tate or Chase. Tate, he started off good with some body jabs, but he really struggled to actually follow it through. He was trying to throw the right hand to the head, he just wasn't having the success landing it. Then in the later rounds, Chase actually picked it up and Tate slowed down. Chase, he had this uppercut that was so odd. He'd wind it up so much and somehow land it.
Y'all see me all tweets about this fight. Look at this nigga uppercut, yo. All the way, my nigga. This nigga said, he ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga said,
You'd think someone like Tate, with his experience and the accolades he had in kickboxing, which was being a 4-time world champion, he'd be able to at least deal with this, but he was gone. He had nothing left in him. So he was just there getting caught. Chase himself, he's a 29-year-old. He's had 15 bouts. You'd expect him to have some sort of athleticism or be somewhat decent, but I don't know what it is with him. I don't know if his team's just doing him dirty, he just doesn't try. You'd expect a lot better from him considering his age, experience, and the fact that he's been active. In terms of the crowd, you could tell Tate, he had a strong fan base there that was supporting him, chanting his name, but then towards the end they did start booing as he was just completely gone. My expectations were, because his Tate has quite a strong fan base, he was once the most googled man, I thought maybe he's going to sell out like a massive stadium. Then again, that's me thinking wrongly because it's in Dubai, not the UK, where a bunch of fans will just turn up to watch AJ or Fury in like a stadium. Apart from my eyes struggling to watch the fight, my ears were suffering from the commentators. I don't know if it was a case of that if they mentioned something good about Tate, they may be scared that they would lose something like a brand deal or their job, but they were just overhyping Chase like he's some elite level fighter and he's putting on the fight of the year. I get it, you may be naturally biased towards someone you like, but in this case, it was just way too one-sided. The online reactions are mixed, some people are violating, some people are supporting. The funniest thing I saw was a clip of Amir Khan saying it was a pile of rubbish.
This is some pile of shit. I'm telling you, I've seen guys that give it the big ones.
It's never a good thing to bring people down, but you just got to be honest with yourself with what you saw. It just wasn't that good. If someone said to me that they missed the fight, should they watch it back? I would just straight up say no, because it just wasn't entertaining. There's also HS going off on Tate and Chase.
I want to say, I genuinely, as a nice guy that I am, feel bad for Tate. He's built a big legacy and just lost it all. Generational aura debt. The Federal Reserve, Donald Trump couldn't bail this guy out of the debt that he's in right now. The aura loss, lose him to that Love Island juice head. Secondly now, Chase, you are not hard, mate. Even in victory, you're still a simp.
Him pointing out the fact that Mams looks pissed because he's now just lost millions, that I'd give it to him. It was funny.
Everybody give it up for Mams.
Mams is pissed. Look at him. He's like, nah, I've just lost millions, you fucking roided cunt. That's what he's thinking right now.
I'm sure before this fight happened, Mams and Tate thought that they're going to get this fight out the way, then they're just going to make millions by having these big mega fights. I don't know who he would fight. Like, I mean, there is the KSI fight. He could have fought Darren Till. Maybe a Carl Froch. That's something I'd like to see since they're both known for being arrogant. It will be a very entertaining build-up. Those fights are now out the window, and out of all of them, I'd say Darren Till will probably be the hardest one. I doubt KSI would actually fight just because of his hand, and he sort of fell out of love with boxing because of that whole Fury situation where it was a close fight, he just didn't get the decision. I'm not sure if KSI will return back to being a CEO, or they'll keep Tate as it. I know KSI is doing the whole MF Pro stuff, but realistically, what's Tate really going to be interested in if he's not competing? It may seem like I didn't enjoy the event based off the main event. I've got to admit, there were some entertaining fights. The first fight I watched was Amir Anderson. His fight was really good. He had an opponent that was coming out swinging, and Amir just kept it technical and just finished him. There was Nick LMA vs Ben Williams. I'd say that fight was alright. Williams is the more experienced opponent. Nick, he's not that experienced, so Ben done the right thing and just got the win. I watched some of Anthony Taylor's fight against Niraj. Again, I wasn't really that entertained by it, but I'm sure it was a decent fight if I watched the full thing. And then Dean the Great versus Armando Vargas was the main fight that I actually wanted to watch. That was exciting. I mean, Vargas came out swinging to the body, but Dean just wasn't having the success with his timing. So fair play to Vargas. Vargas was emotional at the end of the fight, as this fight meant a lot to him just because of the build-up got very heated between them. Now, the co-main against Ferguson and Spencer, I'm not someone that watches MMA. The first fight of Ferguson I watched was his fight against Salt Papi, so what I can say, he has a really good punch resistance. But in this fight, both of them were just going at it. It was honestly an entertaining fight. Both of them were just fighting fire with fire. I know Mams thought that's the best fight he's ever seen. I wouldn't agree with that. Best fight of the night, in my opinion, was Dean the Great or Amir's fight. To wrap it up, it was a messy ending, but all round, it was a decent event. The weekend was quite good. There was Jake Paul and AJ, believe it or not. And then we had this event, which was decent. Let me know what you lot thought in the comments.